It is a pleasure to be here with everyone, but most of all, it is an absolute honor to help present the LeGrand Foundation with the Organizational Excellence in Mentoring Award from the Martin Center for Mentorship and Communications. My history with the LeGrand Foundation, TLF for short, and how I learned about the organization beautifully summarizes the ripple effect of TLF and its community that spans from coast to coast and has been built over nearly 30 years. About 12 years ago, I was a rising junior in college, I know, very hard to believe, finishing up an extended internship at a major global public relations firm in New York City, when a vice president I worked closely with, who identified as Asian American, recommended I looked up the LeGrand Foundation's scholarship. She herself had been a recipient when she was in college about 10 years earlier, and shared a little with me on the organization, how the organization supported her through her academics financially and into her postgraduate career through network, mentoring, and propping doors open. When I looked up TLF, I learned about its mission to address the lack of diversity in the advertising, marketing, and public relations fields through scholarships, career development workshops, and internships to ethnic minorities in particular. Full disclosure, as a struggling college student, I only read public relations, scholarships, and ethnic minorities. I went through the application process and a few months later got word of being awarded a scholarship and of my required presence for a series of events in New York leading up to the scholarship presentation. At this point, I was still fixated on the much needed and appreciated financial support for my upcoming semester, which is important to note that uniquely did not go directly to the bursar's office, but instead directly to the student for aid in textbooks and other expenses outside of tuition. But as the series of events went on a few weeks later, including an all-day workshop at another global PR firm that I would end up working in later on, I quickly realized that the financial support was perhaps the least valuable in the connections I had just unlocked, thanks to the man at the helm of the LeGrand Foundation, Mr. Kim L. Hunter. If you have not yet met Kim tonight, be prepared to be blown away by one of the biggest, bluntly honest, assertive, but most caring personalities you'll ever meet. 12 or so years later, I call Kim my beloved mentor, although he makes the distinction between mentor and sponsor, which you heard Joanne in the video make the distinction as well. Sponsor for him being someone who serves as an advocate and champion for an individual. Regardless of the term, Kim has sponsored me through both my undergraduate and graduate studies, supported me from the beginning of my career when my only references to women in PR were Samantha Jones and Olivia Pope, through transitions between the corporate world and local New York City government, so I guess I took more after Olivia Pope. Kim has been there through some of my career peaks and slums, reminding me to strive for more, never settle, and continue to make my presence known in every room as a Dominican American communications professional. Through his hard work and dedication to the LeGrand Foundation's mission, Kim has awarded nearly 1,000 scholarships, totaling more than $3 million to diverse students across the country, and has facilitated nearly 600 internships and job placements in some of our industry's most coveted companies. A few of my TLF peers and colleagues have even gone on to set up their own companies, furthering the dismal number of minority-owned businesses in the US, which last I checked came in at only 20%. But the real statistics I wish someone would track include number of calls Kim takes of his network of young professionals who need support in their job search, feel like their current employer does not have their best interests in mind, have just gotten laid off and feel like they're at their lowest. What about the number of very hard, painful truths someone has to tell us, or the introductions he's made? Or how about the number of times Kim has told us, you're worth more than that? And the literal dollars he has coached us to negotiate up and make sure we're being paid our worth. Yes, the LeGrand Foundation is being recognized tonight for the Organizational Excellence in Mentoring Award. I told myself I was gonna cry. But you cannot speak about the foundation without the man behind it. He's gonna give me so much crap for this. Again, it's going back to the crap that he gives all of us on a daily basis. But I like to share a brief thank you to the Martin Center and Tom for honoring and highlighting the LeGrand Foundation, because honestly, more people need to know about all of the work that LeGrand Foundation through CRIM has done. The mission and tireless work of nearly 3 decades helping to emphasize the need for and benefits of DEI among ethnic minorities in communications. The work is never more critical considering the disheartening times our country again sees itself in. While some companies find easy to roll back DEI commitments and investment at the drop of a social media post or executive order that will hopefully be challenged by the checks and balances of our country, I warn against communication companies, organizations, and groups from being too quick to follow in these rollbacks. In an industry that is based on ideas and creativity, just think about how bland your ideas will sound if everyone around the table looks the same, have the same experiences, have worked the same roads, live the same lifestyle. When there is so much sameness, be different. I mean, y'all, it's so much more interesting. And with the mention of different and interesting, I'd like to welcome the chairman and CEO of the LeGrand Foundation, Mr. Kim L. Hunter.